Hey everyone, this is Brian here, Topps Vintage 11762, and going back through some cards I kept from my childhood back in the early 70s. I came across these. They're kind of unique, a little different card. They're a little larger than your normal baseball card, but I thought they were pretty neat to show for a little video here. They were made by Fleer back in 72, and they basically called them Famous Feats. There was a set of 40 of them, which I've only got about 15 or so of them. But I thought I'd show them off anyways. They seem to be pretty cool cards, and I like the color of them. And got some interesting facts on each of the players on each of these cards. This first one's Christy Mathewson. It's talking about his 3 shutouts that he pitched in 1905 at the World Series. This next one is Sonny Jim. He drove in 12 runs in a single game. I mean, that's a lot of runs to drive in for one game. Basically, pretty much won the game for his team at that time. On the back of these, it basically has a little bit more info on the players as well. These are cards that I'm looking to sell possibly. That's what's the dollar sign is on there. But anyways, that's the back of the card there. Helped the Cardinals, which was a team that I like, win the pennant back in '28. This one here is a card for Rudy York. Hit 18 homers in 1 month, and back in 1937 for the Tigers. This one is, next card is Eddie Collins. He stole 6 bases in 1 game twice. So that would be quite a feat. And I know Lou Brock and Ricky Henderson stole a lot of bases too, but this is pretty good feat for doing this twice in 1 game. Next card is from Red Wolf, a Yankee. Scored in 18 straight games. Scored a run, crossed home plate there. And pretty cool picture there of him stepping on the home plate. The next card is, we have heard of this guy, I'm sure, Mel Ott, one of the shortest guys ever played. Walked a lot of times because of it, and on here it notes that he walked 1,708 times and got on base just by 4 balls and no strike pitches. Next one is Ed Rollbeck. Pitched a doubleheader shutout back in 1908. And this next card is from Tris Speaker. Hit 793 doubles through his career. I've actually got an old bat that my uncle gave me from New York that he had as a kid. It's got Tris Speaker engraved on it, and just thought this card was pretty cool. It's a little beat up, got some few creases in it, but still it's got a lot of nice color to it. Next card is for Lloyd Wainer. He went 77 games without striking out. And that's pretty good for having a good eye on the ball. He did that back in 1941 with the Cincinnati Reds. This next one is by Chuck Klein. And he's spent a lot of his career in Philadelphia. But in 1930, he scored 158 runs. So he was on base a lot, apparently. Down to the last 2 or 3 here. This one here is Big Ed Delaney. He won batting crowns in both the major leagues, batting .408 and .376. And that's pretty good by today's standards. It's a feat that I don't know if it'll be accomplished again, but it was, as they say, a famous feat. This next one is from Deacon Felipe. Pitched 5 complete games just in the World Series in 1903, and 5 of those. It was the 1903 World Series that he pitched those in for Pittsburgh. And in the American League, he was a 25-game winner as well. So pretty good for a year's worth of work. This next one is Jack Chesbrough. He won 41 games in 1904. A lot of wins for pitching. And he did a lot of pitching. So pretty good feat there for Jack. He did that back in 1904, again with the Pittsburgh. And back then he jumped to the American League Highlanders, which now became the Yankees. And finally, the last card here is Wee Willie Keeler. Sorry. Hit safely in 44 straight NL games back in 1897. And pretty good feat there. But anyways, I just wanted to show a few of these cards off. And like I said, I really like the color of them. And they found them in some old cards that I had back in when I was collecting, and hung on to them. They seem to be pretty nice shape. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and as I always say, collect like you're a kid.